Hi, so this is the ownership review of my original Swat boots. These are the Chase 9 inches sides of boot. The color of the boot is tan or the desert sand color. I've had this boot for over 5 years. Front profile, side, and back. So as you're already aware, most likely, that original SWAT makes boots for tactical and defense purposes and also for police forces. They have a huge lineup now, but originally they started with the original SWAT classics, then came the Chase, and then followed a lot many other boots. So this is one of the original original SWAT, I'll say. I initially had this boot in a black color in size UK 9. The sizing of original SWAT in the classic series and also in the Chase series is on the larger side, and hence I was able to put my feet inside or just adjust with the UK 9 that time. But as I used the boot in military environment and for climbing and coming down mountains, it became painful with my toes up front because there was no wiggle room for my feet, and so hence I had to give those boot away to somebody else. And subsequently I was looking for a size UK 10, could not find one in black, so I went with the tan color. Now the tan color inherently has a disadvantage, especially this version, maybe not so much with the Coyote or the green version, but with this version, because this is too light and it becomes dirty very fast and very difficult to clean it. And hence I have not been putting too much use on this boot. I've been using them very often on, and that also for mild usage only. Then also when it gets dirty, it becomes difficult to clean. Like this, it's become dirty up front, now it's very difficult to clean. In fact, I've got my mind made up, I'll probably color these or polish them in brown and black to get a dark brown finish, and then use them regularly. So coming on to the boot proper, since I've put these boots through extensive use, not very frequent use but extensive use, and I've used them over 5 years, so immediately I'll say that I'm very happy with the pasting of the boot. Nothing has come off. I've been in humid and hot environments also, and in the cold also, but nothing has come off. That is partly because the sole is stitched up front and also at the rear. Coming on to the sole of the boot. The sole of the boot has got original SWAT branding on it. It's got a fairly wide lug pattern which will help in shedding mud. Also, you will be able to see these grooves on the sole. This is supposed to help when walking over water. This will help disperse water and give you decent grip when you walk on wet stones and wet surfaces also. Also, you'll notice that although the lug pattern is there and is fairly aggressive and wide, but the lugs are flat at the bottom. So hence these boots can be used in the indoors also. They have decent grip. They don't slip too much. Unlike the original SWAT classic series where the lugs are sharp towards the bottom, this is flat, which is a good thing. There is a slight heel and a cleft at this area, which is always good for climbing ladders. So the outsole is all rubber and is not a very hard compound rubber. It's soft enough, gives decent grip. The outsole you can see is coming up right till here at the behind, then coming down here, and then these lug designs are there on the sole. And then up front it is pasted and stitched slightly up onto the toes. This is always good because when you take a knee, you will not end up brushing against the leather. So decent quality of work there. Second is the EVA Phylon midsole. A lot of you would already be aware that the EVA midsole is the main component of comfort for any decent military boot, or at least for the previous generation ones. The present generation ones generally rely on polyurethane soles. but these are also pretty good and decently comfortable. So it's got a EVA Phylon midsole and a thick one, and then on the inside it's got a original Swat insole. Original Swat is also just branding, otherwise it's just a EVA insole inside again. So it's got a 3-layer sole, which is always preferable. I always look for at least 3 layers on my boot for sole comfort. Coming on to the upper of the boot, the rear of the boot is a synthetic material. This is plastic. Normally one thinks that plastic will not have good life, but this has got good life. The heel counter is still stiff enough and has not lost shape, and the color match is also pretty good. Thereafter, the front is rough out leather. However, the thickness of the leather is not very good. It feels thin. If I were to put it through extensive use, and if this was to come in touch with rough surfaces, I think it will cut. It will cut not very easily, but I've seen better boots with better leather also. That considered, probably the cost of these boots isn't very expensive considering the other boots that are out there. And then for that there is a trade-off or there is a trade-off of weight. So these boots are decently light. So the front is all leather and they've got one single piece of leather, which is always preferable than having multiple stitches up front. Then on the top they have this another layer of leather. It's got 2 layers of stitching, nothing wrong here, nothing is coming off. And then the laces, all the eyelets here are metallic eyelets, but they're pretty smooth. I haven't had any problems with these. And all the eyelets up till the top. Because the boot has a side zip, I have tied up the laces, put them inside, and I use the side zip for putting my boots on and off. The zipper is YKK, so this is good quality stuff there. These are plastic, no metal here, all plastic. And then on top they have given this Velcro to keep the zip in place and keep it from getting pulled as you walk. So good quality workmanship, nothing wrong with these boots. Only thing which irks me personally with these boots is that the front is kind of pointy, and normally if I look at these boots, or if you look at these boots from a distance, you will not be able to differentiate between the left and the right. They look pointy. The right foot should have a slight curve on the right side, and the left boot should have a slight more emphasized curve on the left side. Nothing wrong with these. When you wear them, there is nothing wrong, absolutely. These are very, very comfortable. Nothing wrong with the comfort. I actually like the comfort of these boots. The last on which the boot is made is also fairly wide enough. These are a standard or a medium of the or the boot designed on the medium last. These are not the wide variety, these are the medium variety, or I think they call them D. So these are a medium variety. Still there is enough room inside the boot, and also because the leather is soft, it spreads enough, and the sole is also fairly wide enough. So very comfortable boots. Nothing wrong in the comfort department. Just that I think they've been built to a price, but built nicely to a price. Nothing wrong there. The remaining of the upper is this synthetic material. It's got this box check pattern. However, it's quite spread out, but it does the job. I've had no failure on this. The rear has these vents for it to breathe, and also where the ankle or the behind of the ankle is there, they have this design where the boot flexes easily and so will not start tearing in this area. This is also a good design feature. So when you are walking, it will keep flexing here and it will not cause a fold in the boot here or tearing. Another good thing is on the inside they've given this net mesh foam in which it kind of breathes, because it compresses and decompresses as you walk and allows perspiration and some air circulation to happen inside the boot. in the tongue also and on the inside also. So it's pretty nice. I would have probably wanted to buy a black of the same boot if they were available in the market, but I can't seem to find them in black anymore. But that said, this is also nice. I'm going to color them and use them. It has some branding, very simplistic branding, which I like. Nothing in your face. Original Swat. It has some branding here also on the tongue, and because the side zip is available and there is no cloth inside, so obviously these are not going to be waterproof, but then these are probably meant for hot weather environment and desert environment, so it is not meant to be waterproof also. So nice boots. I had a good experience with them. Would I recommend these boots? Yes, I will recommend these boots if you get them at the right price. Thank you.